Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Team Lead Talks podcast. I am your host out of Alexandria, Virginia, Andrew Becker. Got a special guest on today's episode. Really cool, interesting, awesome, amazing background. Terrence Nickelson. He is the founder and CEO of Goby Homes. And we were just talking about this before we hopped on. You have quite the accolades list. I don't want to botch it. So can you please tell people what those three things you mentioned are?
Yes, of course. So just last year, we were honored to be the recipients of the National Associations of Realtors Innovator of the Year Award, Inman's Best of Proptech Award, and the National Fair Housing Alliance Innovation Impact Award for Responsible AI and Financial Services.
Man, that's so cool, man. I know you have a product called Goby Homes, but you got into real estate like before. Talk about, for those who don't know you, I'm sure a lot of people do, like Inman, that's like amazing. I'm jealous and all that good stuff. But like, how did you get your start in real estate? And then like, what did you do specifically? And then where the heck did this like Goby Homes idea come from? And then we'll kind of dive into what that actually is.
Yeah, sure. So I got started in real estate back in 2000. I want to say in between 2010, 2011 in Baltimore City. So I started on the small time investing side. I bought my first house in Baltimore for $8,750. I'll never forget it, off East Chase Street. So for any of you who are familiar with Baltimore, off East Chase Street. And my dad helped me work on it, fixed it up, flipped it, took that money. Then I bought another house, then bought two houses. And so I started getting involved in transactions that way.
Yeah.
And then I was, wanted to, go see houses on my own and kind of control my own fate in the space and not have to pay commission to, an agent if I'm going to be so active like that. So I went ahead and got my license. But then once I got my license, I started representing different, clients and things of this nature. So it kind of took a little bit of turn. I was still doing investing, but I was kind of splitting my time between the two.
Cool.
And then, during that journey, I pretty much, made a lot of different connections, seen pretty much every angle of a transactional table, represented all types of clients. And I've seen how fragmented processes were in real estate and how deals could potentially fall apart without the alignment of the parties involved in a real estate transaction. Okay. So in a nutshell, real estate is essentially a bunch of parties coming together on a bunch of different platforms to close a deal, right? Yeah. There's no transparency. There's virtually no accountability. And there's a lot of blind spots that could potentially cause a deal to fall through. And what I learned was, every year in the U.S., nearly 250,000 deals fall through. That's over 760 failed transactions a day.
Wow.
Which is, represents billions of dollars in lost commission, ruined client trust, wasted time, et cetera. Yeah. So I wanted to build a platform, to address these issues and, bring a smoother process to the home buying and selling, process of real estate.
Dude, very cool. Terrence, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But for someone listening that might not know all these moving parts and pieces, can you just give us a high level of like who these people specifically you're talking about that like have their hands in the jar?
Yeah. So typically in an average real estate deal, there's typically an agent involved, a client, or, multiple clients if you're a spouse or whoever's buying, right? A client side. Then you have typically a lender, a mortgage lender. You have inspectors, you have appraisers, you have attorneys in some states. Then you have title agents. It's a lot of different parties. Contractors are sometimes involved. Family members are sometimes involved.
Yeah, the other agent. And
right, exactly. Then you have the seller, right? If you're the buyer, then you have the seller side. If you're a seller, you have the buyer side. So it's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of negotiation. And really, you have to be aligned and make sure these parties are on the same accord, right? Because I tell people, real estate is really a time-sensitive business. One document issue, one delay, one misupdate, and you don't get your offering on time, or you don't do this by a certain time deadline, the deal's off. So,
dude,
you want to make sure all your ducks are in a row, as they say.
Yeah, man. I don't remember how many times like you go to I'm in Virginia, so it's like title company. You go into those attorneys and like thinking you're going to close at 2 p.m. on Friday, going to have a great weekend. Oh my gosh, we didn't do X, Y, and Z like at the last minute, and like closing gets pushed, everyone gets pissed and ruins everyone's weekend. So I'm curious, like that happened to me a lot. Like, and then we got better and better and like learned to figure that out ahead of time so that would not happen. But what did like something specifically happen to you, or like a client? Was there like a aha or like holy moly moment when you're like, man, there has to be a better way? And then like, is that how Goby kind of came to be? Or like, where did that come from?
Yeah, it was a catalyst, right? So my catalyst was my aunt. So I was representing my aunt. She was purchasing her first home. She was like a long time renter, right? Was kind of
Okay.
always had that cold feet about buying, just because of the process and all the things you got to get right before you could even move forward. It's a big commitment, right?
Right.
And she had a house she really liked. And as I was speaking to the time sensitivity, we didn't get our offer in on time because somehow the information got lost in the spam folder, right? I thought I
Mm.
didn't receive it. And I was like, did you send it? Yeah, I sent it. When did you send it? Oh, check your spam folder. It's in the spam folder, but the document wasn't filled out correctly. So I had to send it back again. And then once I had to do that back and forth,
Too late.
deadline passed. I called the listing agent. I said, "Hey, I got the offer on the way. Just give us a sec." Nope, nope. Deadline's passed. I'm sorry, we're not accepting no more
Yeah.
offers. And we didn't even get our bid
Dude, so
in.
this was your family member?
Yeah, so this was a family member. As
So
my aunt.
side question,
Yes.
are you still in good relations with this aunt, even though
Yeah, we got
you
her
lost
another
your
house.
dream home, Terrence? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, yeah. We ended up getting her another house, right? But
Okay.
it stung, right? Because she didn't continue on that specific journey during that time. She took a
Yeah.
little break, kind of stepped away from it. We had to kind of revisit it later. But we came back. We found her, another home that she really loved, and we were able to move forward. But that was a time where I'm like, dang, man, we have to have a better way of communicating, sharing
Yeah.
documentation, being on the same page, because I can't be jumping through text and then email. And I tell people this is how efficient email is. If I was to send you an email that was urgent, I would probably call you or text you, hey, check your email. Hey, I just sent you an email. Go ahead and check your email. I would send two forms of communication just to get, to do my
Yeah.
right. So we're trying to find a better process of doing some of that.
Dude, that literally just happened with this podcast.
Right. Exactly.
I was
Yeah.
like, hey man, are you coming?
Yeah.
And they're like, where's the link? I was like, we emailed it to you. I don't see it. I email it to you again. So it was like 5 text messages and multiple emails just for
Exactly.
that one thing. But we made it happen because we're two
Right.
smart guys, right? And now we're
Absolutely.
talking together. So, okay. So you went through something with a family member. Fortunately enough, you saved that relationship, Terrence, with your aunt and found her at the home. But like, then how do you make that transition? Like, what's your background? Did you like code this? Do you make it? How did you like actually develop it? And then let's dive into like what it actually does and how it helps people.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, so my background is real estate and software engineering. So I'm a software engineer, but I've been in real estate longer than I've been in tech, right? So I did start off building it myself, and just kind of bootstrapping it. Now the product has changed a lot and has evolved since the
Right.
original idea, right? As products tend to do, it expands and you learn and you grow and you improve things. But
Right.
yes, I did leverage my software engineering background to get the start on it. And then once it started to scale outside of my bandwidth, you bring on engineers and developers to
Yeah.
help take it to the next level and get the product to where it needs to be.
Very cool. Okay, so you started doing it by yourself with your limited background. You got to the point where it's a little bit over your head technically, and then you brought in an amazing team to do it. Now let's talk about the actual platform itself. So
Yep.
there was a need that you saw to help communication amongst the major players in every transaction to
Right.
stop what happened to you and your aunt from a deal falling through because you literally like didn't hit send on a document or couldn't find it, whatever it was, right? So like walk us through like who uses your platform? Like is it every single person? Like how does it work? How does it replace the need to send you a text, Terrence, and then a follow-up email? Like where's the time save? Like walk us through what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how it works is on our platform, we have what we call projects. Think of a project as being equivalent to a transaction, right?
Okay.
So typically how the flow will work is an agent or a broker would create a project on Goby Homes. The first person they would invite is typically the clients. The clients then invite whoever else they need involved in their transaction. So their lender, any family members they want to get involved, and whoever they choose for title, any attorneys that's representing them, whoever they want involved, we invite them to a project. Now,
Terrence, does that scenario you just described, am I creating a login for free if I'm like a family member or a lender and am I having like Andrew Becker with my own password and like
correct.
my own login for that particular project?
Correct. Yes. Yes. So you create an account. It's completely free. The only people that are paying at this time are the agents and the brokers, right? Because
Gotcha.
they need a little bit more of a robust, workflow compared
Right.
to some other, participants, right?
Right.
Now, it's important to note that these parties do not have to live inside Goby Homes. The third party, so the lenders, the other third party professionals, do not have to live within the platform. But what they have, what by just signing up and accepting the invitation to join the project, what they
Mhm.
do is get real time notifications and alerts as things come up throughout the deal. So if there's a task that is assigned to them that they need done, if there's a notification of a reminder to get tagged into calendar events, messaging, all these things they get, pings to their email, to their phone, or if they have
Yeah.
downloaded the mobile application, they get push notifications to the app as well.
Can I ask a
But it's not
question?
essential for them to do that.
Okay,
Yes,
cool. So I am attached to 10 Main Street. You're the agent. I'm the husband. I have my wife, and we're your clients. You're helping us purchase 10 Main Street.
mhm.
I get Goby Homes account for the 10 Main Street project. And then all these other people start to join us. My lender, title, whoever, like insurance person. And then when the lender updates you or
Mhm.
me simultaneously, we're all getting broadcast that notice. It says like, hey, good news, your underwriting's done and we approved your loan. So I'm
Well,
not
yeah,
going to find that, but it's getting transmitted to everyone involved. So you don't have to say, hey, like the listing agent doesn't have to ask you, Terrence, like, hey, is the lender approved it yet? He or she will just
correct.
get notified.
Yes, correct. So there's controls, access controls, privacy controls on who gets to see what as well, right?
Gotcha.
Because not
Okay. Yeah.
everything is for everybody. Even the
Right.
messaging is group chat or direct messaging, right? So you could communicate with in groups based on who needs to be involved in each conversation. Same thing with tasks, right? The client has their own specific checklist, right? Everything they have to do to actually get to closing, and we gamified it so they could see the percentage of the deal exactly where they stand, so they always know of what's been completed, where they stand, and what's upcoming. So they don't have to be checking in all the time. They already know what's next on the
Yeah.
list.
And everyone will know if you're the one holding it up or if I'm the one holding it up, that kind of thing
Exactly,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
We know where the buck lies.
Did.
That's right. That's right. And so we know where the buck lies. So if there's a task waiting on a specific recipient to take care of, we know we're waiting on this person. And if it doesn't get done in time, we know you're the one holding up the deal, right? And that breeds. So I always say transparency breeds accountability, because if we get visibility as far as where we are, where we stand, and who we're waiting on, there is no way around like, oh, I didn't know. Hey, I didn't get that. Hey, there's no excuse making, because we understand, exactly where the
Right.
buck's.
Very cool. So I guess the only caveat, Terrence, is everyone in the transaction who is involved, all the people have to be game to do it through Goby Homes, right? They
Right.
have to update everything because obviously if they just update it in their CRM, it's not going to get into it. Or do you like integrate with CRMs, or is it just like a standalone Goby Homes console that you would
So
log into?
yeah, so we're in the transaction management space. So we're not really on the CRM side of things. But like I
Okay.
said, all they have to do it just to be involved in the transaction or the project itself is just create an account and accept the invitation. They could
Gotcha.
totally not do anything else after that. And then the assignment of tasks, the updates, the messages, they would still get all the alerts, right? All the events that they're tagged in, because you tag
Yeah.
members, right? Based off who needs to be involved in what, they will still get those in real time. So they'll always be privy about what's going on, where their client is, what stage the deal is in. They'll always get that without
Yeah.
actually having to continue to log in and interact through the platform itself.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm wondering like if anyone's listening now that's like, holy crap, like this is something that I'm really wanting to get into. Like if you're cool, like talk about how much it costs for an agent or a broker. Like how does somebody find you to chat with you? Like do you do demos? Like what does that look like if someone's interested in adopting this?
Yeah. So if you're a client, or you're thinking about buying or selling, feel free to reach out to me. I don't have much social media personally, but I could drop my email in the chat, or I could give it to you now, whatever works best for you, Andrew. And I am on LinkedIn. That is my primary source of social
Cool.
media. I need to improve that, but apologies on that front. But yeah, we do product demos. If you're a professional that's looking to learn more about Goby Homes or leverage Goby Homes for your business or workflow, especially an agent or broker, feel free to reach out. And Goby Homes, we do demos. You can reach out through the platform, or again, I can provide my personal business email address where you can shoot me a message and we could get you scheduled and taken care of.
Very cool, dude. Yeah, if you will, just say your email on your website, and then we'll also provide all of your contact information in the description of the episode itself. So if you're listening and you didn't catch it or aren't about to catch it when Terrence says this, just look below and everything will be right there. Reach out to Terrence and see if it would be a good fit. Sounds like an amazing product. I shared this with you before. Like, I'm not in sales anymore. I'm doing all my other stuff that I have, but
Yeah.
like, I would have loved this. When did this come out?
Yeah, so we've been doing a lot of testing behind the scenes, a lot of beta, a lot of piloting behind the scenes. So just last year, we actually like publicly released it, and as soon as we
Very cool.
released it, that's when a lot of the awards and real estate media started to pick it up and brought some
Nice.
great attention to us to kind of help scale the platform.
Yeah, man. Well, congratulations on all your immediate success and the future success that I'm sure you will have. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, before I forget, share your contact information and your website so people can check you out.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. So the website is gobyhomes.com. So that's GOBYHOMES.com. So Goby Homes. And my email, if you can see my name on here, how it's spelled. So it's Terrence, TERRENCE dot Nickelson, NICKELSON at gobyhomes.com. So
Very
feel
cool.
free to check us out. Reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn as well with my name. Shoot me a connection request. I love to chat with all of you, and I love learning from you all as well. So the more insight you all provide or interest, I learn from you all every day to help improve our offering. So open to
Very
all
cool, man.
conversations.
And again, we'll include that information in the description. Terrence, before I let you go, ask this to everyone that comes on the show. I know you're already sharing Goby Homes, which is amazing to help people have an easier transaction.
Right.
But aside from Goby, you say you can't use it.
Okay.
What is something you can share? A resource, a checklist, a book? I'm
Yeah.
very big into books, so that would be cool. Like that someone listening right now that's like struggling or wants to better their life, their community, or their career, their business. Like, what can you share with us?
Man, let me tell you something. I've been on even before I started working on Goby Homes. One of the things I did was I needed a little balance in my life, right? When I was teaching myself, so I didn't do the traditional software developer route, and I had to teach myself how to code. And
Okay.
when I was on that journey, I deleted my social media so I could kind of focus and lock in on what it is I wanted to do. So for me, I think it's healthy to take breaks from work and from detox a little bit from online life, right?
Yeah.
And live in real life. Sometimes we get so caught up in this virtual reality that we think is real, right? So we have to kind of take breaks from that aspect. Go outside, get some sunlight. You'll be amazed just going for a walk in nature how that rejuvenates your mind, your body, and makes you feel anew, right? I know it's
Yeah.
not the book route, but mental health, taking care of your physical health is essential to growth, right? So I want to make sure that everybody is, taking a little break from online reality and enjoying life in the flesh, right? A little bit more and making sure you're indulging in the right thing to, promote health and growth.
Well said, Terrence. Well, thank you for your time. I know you're a busy dude. Thanks for being on. Thanks for sharing your amazing story. If you're interested in making your life easier and your real estate professional, check out Goby Homes. It's really cool. Thanks again for being here, man.
Thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right. Bye-bye.